everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Sacred Union Energy Update. All right, quick announcements. Thank you guys to all of you who participated in the poll, the daily energy draw poll on my community tab. I have made a decision. Tomorrow is going to be my last daily energy draw. I am going to be retiring the daily energy draws. That is so that I can focus on deeper channelings for sacred union, ascension relationships, spiritual connections, and the higher heart ascension energy overall. I'll be bringing forth more light language transmissions. I'll be bringing forth more, meditations, webinars. All that is planned. And so, unfortunately, something has to give. And the daily energy draw, I wanted to bring that back, but it takes up so much time between the channeling, the editing, the posting, the uploading. So that's what's going to have to give. But there are over 400 daily energy draws in a playlist here on the channel, so make sure that you're checking that out. You can also feel free to check out the higher heart ascension energy channelings, the sacred channelings over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, because we actually are going more in depth than we do on the dailies. It's not just about sacred union over there, it's about ascension as a whole, and the sacred union path is just one part of it. I'm also happy to say that we are going to be bringing forth a book of the daily energy draw messages. That's going to be it's going to act like a daily devotional. So you'll just open a page and that would be your message for the day. So there will be a book coming of like daily energy draws. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. That will be later this year. So that is all in the works. Thank you guys so much for your support on the dailies up until now. I really appreciate it. I am constantly doing channelings over on Instagram and cross-posting to Facebook. So do make sure, and when I can, here on YouTube. So do make sure that you're checking out all of my social media platforms so you don't miss a thing. Okay. That being said, I was a little bit sick this weekend again. I had either a virus or food poisoning. I don't know what it is, but I was down for the count again. And what I feel like is happening, I was talking to a soul sister today. I feel like it is more clearing, more release. The other day I could actually feel my body vibrating again, and that is not new to me. That vibrating energy, that's not new. I've experienced that before. But it wasn't due to illness. It was due to, I feel like this clearing energy, this upgrading energy. And I feel like it is all linked into this powerful 22222 portal. However many twos there are, it's this 222 energy. And what I actually received today was that is going to trickle into March. In March, March is that 3 number. And that's that Trinity energy, and that's what I keep getting. So there are a couple of messages I keep getting. I keep getting the rainbow energy coming through, and actually when I was at work, I was feeling a bit better on Sunday, and I went to work at the crystal shop, and this titanium quartz crystal, and look at all that beautiful flash, called to me. And no wonder it's all about that rainbow energy. And what I love about this is you have the angel aura, you have the titanium quartz, and it's almost like this is the strength. The titanium is the strength that stands behind the purity of the angel aura. So they just brought that to me. That's really beautiful energy. So it really feels like the rainbow energy is not only really grounding and anchoring in, but it is strengthening, really strengthening, really firming up. I'm hearing the word impenetrable. So this is really beautiful energy that is coming in. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of those changes in March, especially with the Trinity energy. And I feel like we're going to get into that a little more going forward. But today I wanted to do a Sacred Union energy update to see what's going on, particularly with the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. I am going to have a 222 portal energy reading over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections tomorrow. So do make sure that you check that out. I'm going to channel it tomorrow because I want to be in the energy of the gateway. So make sure that you're checking that out. We will go further into this rainbow energy because that just keeps coming in. But today we're going to pull back a little bit and do the Sacred Union energy update, see what is going on for the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, their union energies. And when I was sitting down and asking my spirit team, what message deck they wanted me to pull. Interestingly enough, they called me to this one, the Love Story Oracle. They also had me pull a couple of other cards or a couple of other decks to potentially use. And what was interesting about this is it's a very feminine energy, a very nurturing energy, a very loving energy. So we're going to look into all of that. Okay, so let's see what is going on, and particularly why they want me to pull this deck. So, the full moon was extremely powerful energy. It wasn't just the full moon, it was the Mars-Venus conjunction, or the Mars-Venus alignment. So it was a full moon in Leo, which was bringing forth a lot of energy of release. And me personally, I can attest that I was releasing a lot, although I wasn't always consciously aware of what it is that I was releasing. And the illness that I had, and I'm still kind of recovering from, is some of that release. It was like my body was physically releasing what the emotional energy was releasing, what the subconscious was releasing, what the old energy that I was in was releasing. So I'm not entirely aware of specifics. Sometimes I'm able to say, oh, okay, I'm releasing this belief, or I'm releasing that mindset or that pattern. This feels like it was in wholeness. And by that I mean it feels like it was more comprehensive, and thus I didn't need to be so consciously aware. I just had to surrender to it and allow it. So some of you might be feeling the same, and that is actually creating a massive shift in your connections. And it's going to look out and play out in a number of different ways. But if you're resonating with these messages, if you've been resonating with the energy that I've been channeling, the messages that I've been channeling, then you understand what I'm feeling. You're feeling it too, and you know and you can see how it is playing out in your connection. Now, if you are not seeing it yet, do not let that trigger you. Do not let that lower your vibration. Keep doing your work, because sometimes I do tend to channel ahead of that collective. Remember that as well. So take that as what is to come for your journey, and let that really excite you. Let that lift you up, and let that, be a motivating factor for your own soul growth and expansion journey. Okay, yes, I'm releasing so much. Okay, yes, I am seeing this change and peace within myself and this transformation within myself. And as such, my physical world is changing. And as such, even my connection is changing. But don't put the onus, or don't put the emphasis on your physical world and what you are or are not seeing. Focus it back in on yourself. What are the changes and the transformations that you feel within yourself? Greater peace, greater harmony, greater expression of love. No more abandonment, no more betrayal, no more self-abuse. Those are all key features of higher heart ascension and shifting into fifth dimensional consciousness. Okay. I feel like I should just be doing the 222 portal channeling right now, but we're doing a Sacred Union energy update. All right. What's going on for the Divine Masculine, please? Oh my gosh, you guys. We have two cards that popped over, self-worth and true love. Now, what's interesting about this, and they're calling me to it. So what's interesting about this is I take the flyers. As you guys know, I've always taken the flyers. That's how I communicate with my spirit guides, that those are the cards that I'm meant to channel from. And I don't even need the cards anymore, but they help me to direct the energy and bring forth the messages. What's interesting about this is they flipped over in the deck, but if you saw them, I don't know if the camera caught it or not, but if you saw them, they were kind of wedged in here like that, in that they didn't fly out, but they did flip over. So I feel like this is what the Divine Masculine is working on right now, and it's almost like it's not quite there. What they're giving me is like a dinner in the oven, or like a cake in the oven or something like that, and it's like, it's still kind of cooking. It's not quite ready yet. It's still kind of cooking. So don't keep checking on it. Know that it's still in the process. Just trust the process. So this is what they're working on. This is their own self-love, looking at themselves in the mirror. And by looking at themselves in the mirror, they're able to see you. We're going to get a little bit more on the connection and how they're looking at their divine feminine in a minute. But I really feel like this is their own self-focus. They're really focused on believing in themselves, loving themselves. This is a huge shift in the Divine Masculine energy. masculine energy had not always been here at this point. They had been very distorted, where they were looking at themselves with very low value, very low self esteem, very low self worth, feeling like they were not able to contribute to connections, to their own lives, to themselves, to their families, feeling like they needed to meet expectations instead of following their own hearts, following their own passions. This is a huge change for the divine masculine. This is them singing the song of their own soul. This is them listening to the beating of their own heart. This is their own self-worth and self-love. And because of that, once you really tap into your own self-worth and self-love, that is when you're able to receive from another without guilt, without shame, without complete humility. Humility is a good thing. Humbleness is a good thing. But sometimes we get to the point of modesty, and we have to balance that out with being able to receive, because life in the universe is made up of that beautiful, delicate balance of give and take, give and receive. And so we have to allow ourselves to receive as well. And sometimes when we are not feeling worthy or we're not loving ourselves, we don't allow ourselves to receive, especially love. And so I feel like this masculine is really shifting in this energy, and I feel like they're seeing themselves for the first time. I feel like what they're showing me is a mirror that was muddy. That's interesting. Okay, they're sharing with me a story that I read a long time ago. It's like one of those memes. And it's a story of a woman and a man are sitting down to breakfast. And the woman is looking out her window and she's seeing her new neighbor hanging clothes on the line. And she's remarking, oh my gosh, how muddy are those clothes? She didn't wash it properly. She didn't get all the dirt stains out, etc., etc., etc. And day after day after day, her husband just sits silently and listens to her as she just kind of complains about the woman's lack of being able to do laundry. And finally, one day, she sits down to breakfast and she looks out the window and she says, oh, the woman finally figured out how to do laundry. Her clothes are spotless. And the man remarks, her husband remarks, I cleaned the window. It's a metaphor of, well, number one, it's very layered. Number one, it's a metaphor of don't criticize others, don't judge others. But it's also of be able to look at your own reflection. Be able to look at what might be on your side of the mirror. And I feel like that's what the divine masculines are doing. I feel like in the past, the divine masculines had been looking at the mirror and it had been so muddied and spotted and distorted that they couldn't see themselves clearly. And so they were looking at themselves in such a way that almost like through the lens of other people. They were looking at themselves through other people's perspectives, through other people's criticisms, through other people's judgments, through other people's wounding, through other people's projections. They were taking that all on themselves. These divine masculines are incredibly sensitive. They might not have displayed it in the past. Spirit's correcting me. They might not have displayed it in the past because their own emotions had been so suppressed. That's their own inner feminine energy, which had been suppressed. I talk a lot about masculine and feminine energy here on the channel and what that means, especially the masculine healing of the feminine energy. So I'm not going to go into it today. If you are new here, do check out the Sacred Channelings or the Ascension Channelings playlist here on the channel because there will be more in depth there. But for so long, the divine masculines had looked at themselves in a distorted view, and so that's the behavior that they had displayed. Well, now it's like they're clearing up the window. Now it's like they can see themselves crystal clear. And they like what they see. They are loving themselves and believing themselves now. This is a new energy for them. It's a new energy that you might be seeing, divine feminines, but this is a new energy that they are experiencing. And divine feminines, you know what this shift is like. You know what this transformation is like. You know what this feeling is like. To come out the other side and look back and be like, I can't believe I was ever in that energy. I can't believe I was ever overexpressing myself, or that I was ever not able to receive, or that I was controlling, or that I was not loving myself enough. I can't believe that I was abandoning myself or betraying myself or rejecting myself in these ways because I didn't have healthy boundaries or XYZ. Divine Feminines, you know what this is like. And so this is the excitement that the Divine Masculines are feeling, because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that that's the energy I was in. And they are liking this new, loving themselves. This is beautiful. Divine Feminines. What's going on for the Divine Feminines? Passion. Look at that. So with the energy here, I feel like, you see how you're like a solid form here? However, your crown chakra is lit up. And you see how the masculine energy represented here is all energy. I feel like you are reconnecting to the energy of your connection again. It might still be energetics. You might not be seeing the full force of this yet in your physical world. But as we've been channeling over the past several weeks, that is part of the process. That is what is coming in. It's what is forming and happening right now. It is what is aligning right now. And I feel like from here, well, we've been channeling this since January. So from January here, this point now, until it really feels like the summer energy. It really feels like solstice energy. So you could be scattered along that timeline. Anywhere along that timeline, you're going to be seeing more and more evidence. It's like a buildup is what's happening. So it's not like it's going to be once and done. This is going to be part of a process. You're going to be seeing more and more evidence of this change. So, for example, everybody's situation is going to look a little bit different because everybody's path is a little bit different, even though we're part of the same collective energy. So, for example, if you have been in communication along with your divine counterpart, then you might be seeing more loving and patient energy. You might be seeing and how they communicate this shift. If you are not in communication with your counterpart, you might be seeing more communication. It might be a little bit in and out to start, but it will start to be more stable. It will start to be more consistent. And that's because of your energy as well. If you are still in the energy of, they're in and out, and that's creating resentment within you, then you have some more work to do, because that's where you are still accepting that energy. That's where you're still kind of abandoning yourself. That's where you have some more work to do as far as expressing yourself and establishing boundaries. So there's going to be more communication. I'm also getting the energies for some of you. It might be even a higher level of, I'm hearing the words engagement, and engagement is my word for connection, it's my word for communication, and it's my word for commitment. So take it as it resonates for you and your connection. So it's a higher level of whatever your relationship is. So this is really beautiful energy. And with this, I feel like you're really connecting to your masculine energy. Now, this is your inner masculine energy, much like Divine Masculine is working on their own inner energy, their own inner feminine energy, receiving love. You're working on your own inner masculine energy, which is stability, which is trust, which is security. And I feel like this is your own inner, okay, it's like this. This is your own inner masculine energy and your own inner feminine energy merged. But when you're in the sacred partnership, it's reflected in your outward masculine, the human physical form. So even though what right now I'm showing you this as the inner you, you're going to see this in the outer connection, the physical form of your connection. And so this really feels like a beautiful merging of energies, a beautiful, just trusting, stable, secure connection, just embracing each other in harmony, and Spirit is saying in union. This is what union represents. So this is a really beautiful energy of you just embracing and loving your inner masculine, which is, of course, your outer masculine. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to get a card for the union. Card for the union energies. And we have effort. And that card effort feels like growth to me, especially because of the watering, especially because of the flowers coming out of this watering can. This feels like growth. That is what is happening in your connection. Not only are you both putting in the effort for this connection, not only are you both putting in the effort for yourselves and each other, but you are allowing yourselves to grow. And I just love the heart on that little watering can. Beautiful, beautiful energy as we start the reading. This is going to be a quicker reading. Don't know how many cards I'm going to pull, but we will see. This is my friend Luna Marie's deck. Make sure that you check it out. It is gorgeous. She is the Spiritual Warrior UK here on YouTube and on Instagram. Okay. Very loving energy coming in over the past several weeks, and I really feel like this shifted just as we started February. Really loving energy coming in with the start of February, and we did channel that February was going to be balance, harmony, and a focus on relationships. Okay, Divine Masculine, please. What do we need to know for the Divine Masculine on their journey right now? What do we need to know for the Divine Masculine? We have distorted energy. Focus on your heart, not your head. I feel like this is confirmation of what had been clearing. You see how this person, I was going to get another card, but I don't even need one. I feel like this person, you see how they're in like this meditative energy? I feel like they are really healing and focusing their energy on this self-love. Remember when I said that this is pretty self-focused right now? That even though they are healing, loving you and connecting to you, this is really self-focused and loving themselves. That's because they're clearing the distorted energy and it's coming outward. It's extending outward from them. So the more they love themselves and clear that distortion within themselves, the more they're allowing themselves and their energy to expand and their love to expand to love you. Divine Feminines, their counterpart. Oh my gosh, and look at the bottom of the deck. They just called me to look at self-love. That is exactly what this is all about. Take time to heal. That is what is going on now. So I do feel like the Divine Masculine is kind of in a hermit energy, but it's not hermit as in, this is a really divine hermit energy. This is a really healing energy. This does not feel like a dark night of the soul. This just feels like self-discovery. This feels like they are really, really connecting to their heart chakra. They are really opening themselves up to themselves. I feel like they've been doing deep dives. I feel like they've been doing shadow work, but this does not feel like the shadow energy. This feels like opening themselves to the light. Beautiful, beautiful energy for the Divine Masculine. And I'm also pointing that this is that female counterpart, and it's like the more they're able to do this love for themselves, do this healing work, and feel this love for themselves, the more they're able to feel your love that you are giving to them. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, Divine Feminine. What's going on for the Divine Feminine? We have wrap up for winter, time to hibernate, and protection. Clear your energy field. I swear, you guys, I don't know when it was, but I swear we just had these two cards come out. Maybe it was in a client reading, and if that was your client reading, please do let me know because I can't remember. But this might have been in the previous Ascension Relationships reading, where I swear it was these two cards, or something very similar to this pairing. I feel like the Divine Feminine, this might be why all of us are either getting sick or we're being called to rest more or we are being called to hibernate more or seclude more. It's this energy. It is time to just go within, but it's not go within as far as more healing work. It is go within in order to really just surrender to the divine unfolding, not to plan, not to have expectations. There is so much that is still aligning energetically. It has been aligning from the old versions of yourself. This might have been the Ascension and relationship reading that I just posted last week because I feel like this is that same energy here. So go back and check that out. If you missed it, I'll put a link in the description box for easy access. This feels like the same energy, the same message. So for the past several months, we have been really I'll get to that in a second. We have been really going through a shift in our energy. And so some of us may have actually experienced physical changes, very physical changes as a result, because what happens is the old energy clears away. And so your physical world has to change itself in order to align to the new energy that's coming in. It's like, for example, if you are aligning to more abundance, well, you have to clear out anything that is still in your physical world aligned to lack. Perhaps you're still holding on to old, tattered clothing. Well, if you want to be in the energy of abundance, and not any clothing that has sentimental value, but because you're in an energy of lack, well, I can't afford better clothing, et cetera, et cetera. So it's clearing out the energy of lack aligns you to the energy of abundance. And so that's what's been happening in your physical world in a number of different ways, in relationships, in work, career, business, projects, friendships. Everything has been realigning because you're shifting into a new higher frequency. And so your physical world naturally reflects that new and higher frequency. And as such, you experience change. That is what change is. It is the shifting of frequencies. And so what's happening now is we are coming to almost like the tail end of it. The tail end of that transition period. And so I feel like you're really being called to surrender and go within and just possibly rest. But it's not go within again of like the active healing work. This is go within of just take it easy, relax, go slow. Don't push so hard. Just allow it to happen because it is all aligning. Your higher frequency is protected. Your new alignment is protected. You don't have to worry because what is coming is coming. You're only creating resistance to yourself by focusing on it or pushing it or trying to take action too much on it. Clear that resistance. It is protected. What you are manifesting is protected. So I feel like that's what this is saying. Just relax and enjoy the unfolding, enjoy the process. All right, and the union energy, please. We have walk away in the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take it as well. Take back your power. Very strong energies. Look at those colors here. Take back your power. Just that's that Leo energy, that releasing energy. Really strong energies of power, sovereignty. What I feel like is happening is the releasing that both of you are doing to align to the new future. It says, walk away. The situation is not serving you. Take back your power, courage. It's like find the courage to completely surrender to what is naturally unfolding. I'm going to share this anecdote with you guys. I've been talking to one of my soul sisters, and I have shared with her that one of the main things that have helped me through my own ascension journey with my divine counterpart was to just completely surrender the connection and accept it for what it is along the way, but hold in my heart what I know to be true, despite what the physical world has been showing me or not showing me. And so this has been over the course of several years that this releasing and this detachment has been occurring. And it was only last year that I finally really settled into this sense of peace. And I've shared with her that I always give it up to God now. Whether He is my person or whether I'm meant to go somewhere else, it all depends on where God is leading me. I'm going to follow my peace. I'm going to follow where my heart is guiding me. I'm going to follow God, where God wants me. And that has really helped me because it's not about the other person. It is about my own alignment. It is about where is God guiding me. And if God does not want me, or God's source or the universe does not want me with this person for whatever reason, then I will have that power and that courage to walk away. I've shown myself that I do. However, we keep being led back to each other. And if it was, like, for example, a trauma bond, and those do exist, but those also exist to show you where the trauma exists within you. And so the more you're able to clear that trauma, the more you're able to shift those patterns of pain within yourself, the more the trauma bond lessens. And if at the end of the day, you and your partner are actually growing together, then you can see that it is a divine connection, that it is not a trauma bond, because often in these connections, we confuse trauma bonds with twin flames, or we think that twin flames, the twin flame community, the twin flame word really has been corrupted. It's why I don't like to use it. I use divine counterparts, I use sacred partners, but you're clearing so much and healing so much together. And you can keep repeating cycles, and that cycle is what keeps you caught up in a trauma bond. Trauma bonds are very real. They are bonding you to another person through the energy of trauma. But if you are healing your own trauma and your person is healing theirs, then you can see that shift. You can see that transformation. Because I was in that place too. You guys, if you've been with me on the channel for a while, I have a whole playlist of, how my ascension journey had gone. And I can look back and see, oh my gosh, what a shift within myself. And I can see that I had always been letting go and releasing, but God always kept me in my heart. God always kept leading me back to each other, kept leading us back to each other. Because I had those same doubts, I had those same uncertainties. Is this a trauma bond? Is this a karmic relationship? Is this a divine counterpart relationship? I had those same doubts. But that's where you remove the labels, because the labels are what get you entangled. It is all about the healing. Let me say that again. The labels are what get you entangled. It is all about the healing. If you are labeling it as, oh, this is just a trauma bond, or this is a karmic relationship, or this is a twin flame relationship, even that twin flame label, it's getting you entangled rather than just allowing yourself to be led where your heart and your soul are leading you. And sometimes it's away from somebody, and sometimes it's back together. But only you can determine for yourself, through your inner work, through your inner transformation and growth, what that means for you. Okay, that being said, and I will expand upon that in the twin flame channeling if you would like me to, just drop a comment in the box below. That being said, this energy here for these sacred partners, for true divine counterparts who are being led to each other through healing and through growth, not repeating cycles, not repeating trauma, not holding on to bonds, and not holding on to labels. Through true growth and expansion, you are releasing the old versions of yourself, even the old version of your connection, and you are claiming your union through claiming your own self-love, your own connection to God's source, and your own power. All right, you guys, that felt like a very powerful channeling, so I'm actually going to leave it here. I want that to be a standalone. This felt like a very powerful message today, a powerful energy, so I want it to be a standalone. I don't want to kind of, submerge it in anything else. So we're going to end it here. We will be back hopefully by the end of the week and see what has shifted. So make sure that you stay tuned. And I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Make sure that you check out the Sacred Channeling tomorrow for the 222 portal. We'll go deeper into the ascension energies. And that's all. Love you guys so much. So much love, so much light. See you soon.